Okay, we'll start with this. Some recent revelations from Matchroom's own Frank Smith on rumors of Subriel Matias fighting Liam Paro, unbeaten Liam Paro of Australia. I don't think it will be Liam Paro. I know there was a lot of talk online about it being Paro, but I don't think it will be. We're working through the list of opponents now, but it won't be him.
That sucks.
I was looking forward to that fight. Between Liam and Subriel. So where did it come from? Why did everybody get it in their heads that he would be fighting him next?
The rumors were half true. It was true that Subriel was going to be crossing over to Matchroom. That checked out. But the bit about Liam...
Frank Smith sounds sure. He sounds sure that it's not going to be Liam Paro next. But if it's not going to be him, who's it going to be? I feel like whoever it is, it may be someone who's currently ranked in the IBF's rank standings, as Subriel Matias is IBF champion. Richardson Hitchens is the highest ranked contender. He's ranked at number 3. The number 1 and number 2 spots are vacant, but Richardson Hitchens, he's ranked at number 3.
It's not going to be him.
He's set to return to action very soon opposite the ring Argentina's own Gustavo Lemos in what is an IBF eliminator. That lines him up to fight Subriel Matias later on, as is mandatory if he wants to.
But we're talking about Subriel's next fight, his very next fight. And I don't think Richardson Hitchens is going to be his next fight because he's busy. He's fighting Lemos.
Richardson Hitchens is ranked at number 3, but he's not next. Jack Catterall is ranked number 4, but he's not next either. He's running back with Josh Taylor.
Their rematch.
It was officially announced 1 or 2 days ago. Jack is ranked at number 4, but he's busy. Ryan Garcia, he's ranked at number 5, but he's busy too. He's fighting Devin Haney.
Regis Prograis is ranked at number 6. Two-time super lightweight champion, former champion Regis Prograis. He's ranked at number 6, but he's coming off that loss to Devin Haney. While he's not otherwise preoccupied with anything.
Do you think they would do that? He'd go from losing to Devin Haney straight into a fight with Subriel Matias? I could go for it. Stylistically, it's a great fight. The boxer puncher, the counter puncher versus the pressure fighter. Usually that makes for a great TV fight, but would Regis do that? Coming off a lopsided loss to Devin, he's going to go right in with Subriel in Puerto Rico.
Regis is ranked at number 6. Liam Paro's ranked at number 7, and we know it's not him based on what Frank Smith said. It's not Liam Paro.
Can't be Gustavo Lemos either, who's ranked at number 8. I just told you, he's fighting Richardson Hitchens.
Matthew Germain of Canada, he's ranked at number 9.
Comes to Matthew, it all depends how his upcoming fight next month goes with Jesus Antonio Rubio. If he makes it through that fight, he would, in theory, be available to face Subriel over the summer months in, say, June or July, whenever it is they plan on doing his fight in Puerto Rico for him.
He's ranked at number 9. Golden Boy Promotions' own Arnold Barboza is ranked at number 10. And I don't know if Golden Boy wants to ship that guy out over to Matchroom, on the Matchroom side of things.
They just signed him. He just made his Golden Boy Promotions debut. I don't know if they want to do that. Ranked after him is Elvis Rodriguez.
Dominican guy.
I think he's on the PBC side of things, but I also think he's not otherwise preoccupied. I think he's free. Maybe Matchroom can reach out to that guy, do the fight with him, maybe? Ranked behind Elvis is former unified super lightweight champion and recent Golden Boy Promotions signee, Jose Ramirez. I don't see the fight between Subriel and Jose happening. Same principle as the Barboza fight. I don't think Golden Boy would ship him out to be part of a Matchroom show. I don't think they would do that. Ranked after Jose is Japan's own Andy Hirioka. Nondescript fighter from the land of the rising sun, flying low on the radar. You have to remember that most of the guys in the top 10, they're otherwise preoccupied. Richardson Hitchens, Jack Catterall, Ryan Garcia. It's not going to be Liam Paro.
It's not going to be Gustavo Lemos.
Might leave them so inclined to go lower in the IBF's rank standings for a ranked, available contender who is willing to fight. Curious who it's going to be. Supposed to be the opponent for Subriel Matias' big homecoming fight on the island of Puerto Rico, his Matchroom debut. I don't get the sense they want to put him in there with a killer just yet. They might go with a lighter touch because it's the occasion. It's all about the occasion after all. Him fighting in his native Puerto Rico. Things might get a little bit more serious in his second fight.
We'll see.
In other news, Eddie Hearn is baffled by Chris Eubank Jr. turning down a huge payday for Conor Benn. Conor Benn himself dismisses him as a pussy.
Now that he's not fighting Conor, what the hell is he going to do?
I'm glad that he's banked 10 and 12 rounds. Hearn told the Zone's Jamie Ward in the ring after he defeated Dobson. And, you know, people will always criticize Conor Benn, but will they step up and fight him? You know, he wants the names at 147, I'm still absolutely baffled by Chris Eubank Jr., you know. People talk about him making 160. No one talks about Conor Benn moving up 2 divisions to fight him, and he'll criticize Benn's performance. He'll talk about this, but yet he continues to turn down a payday 3 times bigger than he can get anywhere else. So if he's easy work and you want to make the biggest fight in the history of British boxing, make it. But I don't understand why. We move on. Ben is tired of talking about him anyway. I'm just still baffled by that. It's noteworthy that Chris Eubank Jr.'s father, Chris Eubank Sr., he's not a fan of this fight. He doesn't want it for his son.
Yeah, but his son is a grown man. Chris Eubank Jr. is in his 30s, isn't he?
He is, though ultimately, maybe under pressure from his father not to take it. Maybe that's why Chris...
I saw his father say that making that weight, making 160, it would be too hard on Chris's body, something like that, but he just made that in his last fight against Liam Smith.
So why can't he make it for Conor Benn? He's a pussy, Conor Benn said. That's it. That's all there is to it. I ain't got nothing else to say. I want to say that Chris Eubank Jr. is worth some money, but he's worth some money in the UK. Emphasis on the UK and a UK audience. This is the biggest fight, or one of the biggest fights, that he could hope to be in.
For that audience.
He doesn't have an abundance of options at middleweight that get him more money than this fight could, so it is puzzling. Fighting Yanni Bekalam Kanalai or Arislandi Lara, a Jermal Charlo or a Carlos Adames won't get you anywhere near the same money that fighting Conor Benn can get you. And that's what Chris Eubank Jr. is in it for. He's in it for the money, so it is strange.
What are the alternatives?
I really don't know. If it's not about a Conor Benn fight for Chris Eubank Jr., what are his options? What are his alternatives? Retirement, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what Chris is going to do moving forward. As far as Conor, they've been trying to get Gervonta Davis in the ring.
No luck there either.
Eddie Hearn says Gervonta Davis versus Conor Benn would have to land at 147 pounds. Gervonta, he campaigns all the way down there at 135.
He'd want weight stipulations.
It was a significant offer, explained Hearn to Boxing Social. An 8-figure offer with plenty of upside. I want to try and make the fight. We're trying to make it work. Only a handful of fighters command more money than Davis. Hearn knows it. But outside of getting Davis to agree to his financial terms, Hearn has another hurdle to overcome. What, the weight?
Yeah.
Davis has spent a ton of his career fighting at 135. Benn, on the other hand, is a sturdy welterweight. Davis has made a few appearances above the lightweight limit, though. Keeping that in mind, if he wants a matchup with Benn, he'll have to acquiesce to his weight demands. 147, said Hearn, when asked at what weight would Davis versus Benn take place. Gervonta's boxed at 140 before. Gervonta's boxed at 136. So, 147.
Gervonta would have weight stipulations of his own. Don't forget, he put a rehydration clause on Mario Barrios, a catch weight, and a rehydration clause on Ryan Garcia.
And you think he wouldn't want weight stipulations in a Conor Benn fight? That he'd fight Conor Benn at a full 147?
No.
I don't think so.
Not at all.
In truth, that fight between Conroy and Gervonta never seemed realistic to me, so he's not having luck with Chris Eubank. He doesn't seem to be having any luck with Gervonta Davis. Maybe he should pursue that Danny Garcia fight that we talked about in a previous video. Danny seems receptive to it. So does Conor.
Danny's gonna want a lot of money.
He still thinks he's worth a lot of money. He still thinks it's 2014 or 2015 or something.
He's a fucking gatekeeper.
It's not going to stop him from asking for a lot of money. So if things don't work out with Danny like they ain't worked out with Chris or Gervonta, maybe you can get Conor in the ring with Blair Cobbs. Blair Cobbs ain't doing nothing. To my knowledge, he's not doing nothing, and he's not with anybody. Maybe that's an avenue that Conor should explore.
Potentials for Conor Benn.
Danny Garcia, who I just mentioned. Mario Barrios. I don't think that guy's tied up with nothing right now.
Hey, Montestanionis.
That guy hasn't fought in over a year. I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get back in the ring and make some money.
Blair Cobbs.
To my knowledge, he's not busy with anything. He's not otherwise preoccupied. And while he used to be with Golden Boy, I don't think he's with them anymore, uncomplicating the situation.
Conor's last 2 fights have been in America.
That's one American that he could fight while he's on American soil. Just some ideas. Because things ain't working out with Chris. I don't expect they're going to work out with Gervonta. Those are some more realistic options. Upstairs at welterweight, A Twitter user that goes by the name Ray Forklift Jackson asked Terrence Crawford, "Who are you fighting next, man? The people want to see you against Boots next." To which Terrence Crawford replied, "I don't know yet. Tell the people that want to see it, put the check up. If not, tell them to stop talking about it."
Unless you're expecting two prize fighters to fight for free, someone has to pay for it.
I'm not talking about the bozos and the idiots online who claim they would buy that pay-per-view. If it were made a pay-per-view, the fight has to be made.
Someone has to make it. Before you even get there, someone has to make it. Someone has to pay for it. Pay for it to happen. Guarantee the money to the fighters.
What do you think, that fights just get made by themselves with no money and no guarantees and no one to put these things together? Like, what do you guys think?
It's stupid.
Fucking stupid. There's no other explanation. Currently, Jaron Boots Ennis, who a lot of these guys all of a sudden are big fans of, currently, this guy's got a court battle he's gearing up for. He's got a court battle with his old promotional outfit that extended his deal on the premise that he became a world champion. There was a clause in the agreement that should Jaron Ennis become a world champion, the contract will be extended.
Okay, what's the problem?
The problem is his old promoter is dead, and the rights to his company went to his wife.
So what Jaron Ennis wants is free agency and $1 million.
Why does he want $1 million?
Because the original agreement stipulated that he would fight 8 times the first 2 years of the deal, then 6 more times the last 2 years of the deal.
And he didn't. Team Ennis is saying they didn't get him the number of fights that was originally agreed to, even though he was ready, willing, and able. So he's got all that to deal with. He's all wrapped up with that. I mean, if you're wondering, why isn't there any news of what Jaron Ennis is doing and who he's fighting? What's going on with him? That's what's going on.
Do you understand that?
No, they don't fucking understand that. Don't you get it? These people are delayed.
People are retarded.
As a content creator, you gather the information, research it, run through it, then put it together in a video in the hopes that the people watching it will understand it, not realizing that there are people out there that are too stupid to understand it. No matter how many times you explain it to them, no matter how slow. Take this guy. Take this 38 Alpha Ez guy.
This guy's a fucking idiot.
In one of my more recent videos detailing the situation, he said Terrence Dud Crawduck will duck Boots. He didn't want Canelo either. He was using Canelo as clout. What the fuck you doing, Dud? Your best win is Jeff Horn. No reason to fight Dud, but your sane fangirls are mad at Canelo for not fighting you. Boots is in your weight class.
Did he misspell your?
Yes, because apparently he doesn't know how to work spell check on a phone.
But don't phones come with spell check built in?
Well, that's how stupid the guy is. Even spell check doesn't work for him. You will notice that he said Jeff Horn is Terrence Crawford's best win. Jeff Horn, not Errol Spence Jr. You will notice that. Why do you think he said that?
Because he picked Spence to win the fight.
That's exactly why he said that, because he picked Spence to win the fight, and I have the proof. I have all the comments that he left on this channel, on my videos, in the build-up of that fight, and he was sure, he was adamant that Errol Spence Jr. would destroy Terrence Crawford all the way up to fight week. This is what he was saying.
Oh, so this is why he's such a big Boots fan, right?
Right. All these guys that thought Errol Spence Jr. was going to get the job done when he didn't, they jumped ship and they jumped on Boots' bandwagon. They're bandwagoning him now, hoping that he can get their lick back for them because they were so fucking wrong.
Wrong!
But you know that there's more going on there. You know that there's something wrong with these guys. There has to be, because I just told you, Boots has got a court battle with his old promoter. Are you under the impression that he's a PBC fighter or something? Because he's not.
He never was.
And you watch enough of these videos, you're on this channel often enough that you should have heard me say that already, that his promoter was Cameron Duncan. Cameron Duncan had an arrangement with Showtime for his fighter to fight on that platform, but he was never one of Heyman's boys. He was never an, according to Hoyle, PBC fighter.
He still isn't.
That's why he's got this lawsuit thing going on. He's trying to become a free agent, perhaps, so he can jump into bed with Al Heyman and the PBC or somebody else, but he's not actually with them.
Not yet.
This guy looks to be about in his mid-30s to his mid-40s. He could be anywhere in between. This is a full-grown adult with the reasoning skills of a child.
Of a moron.
Because as many trips as he makes to this channel, and as many times as I explain the situation in video after video, he can't seem to process what I'm saying. He can't seem to understand it, or he doesn't want to. And there are lots of guys just like him.
He's not the only one.
But I'll use him as an example of how stupid people, really, really stupid fucking people, they like hanging around smart people. The same way that poor people like to pretend they're rich people. They like to dress up like they're rich people. Buying expensive clothes and doing expensive things, frittering away what little disposable income they have to give off the appearance of having more resources and finances than they actually do. In all the ways that poor people like to pretend that they're rich people, stupid people like to hang around smart people.
Why?
They want a seat at the table. They think they have something to contribute aside from their feelings, their little feelings. All they can really ever tell you about is how they feel.
I don't give a fuck how you feel.
You feel like Terrence is avoiding Jaren Boots Ennis because you're too fucking stupid to understand what I'm telling you, what I've been telling you, what I've been saying in all these videos.
What Terrence Crawford just told that Ray Jackson guy. If you want to see that fight, somebody's got to put the money up.
Somebody has to pay for it. They have to pay to do the show. They have to pay the fighters and the undercard fighters and the production crew that shoots it. It doesn't just happen on its own.
Wasting your time trying to explain this to this fucking idiot.
Stupid people like to hang around smart people because they think they have something to contribute. There's that to consider. But there is also that for the longest time, this gentleman has been under the impression that Spence was going to destroy Terrence Crawford. He was going to annihilate him.
That didn't happen.
And now, he can't trust his own instincts. Thus, he wants to come around here.
Because he knows I picked Terrence to destroy Errol Spence Jr. I've been saying that for 5 years.
Guy's not new to this channel. He's been here for a long while. But he still feels raw about being wrong and Errol getting his ass kicked. He still feels angry about that. It's feelings.
Fuck your feelings.
You felt that Errol was going to destroy Terrence, remember?
Remember when you felt that?
And now you want to tell me how you feel about Boots. I don't give a fuck how you feel about Boots.
You shouldn't give a fuck either. Because look at where what you felt about Spence got you.
You could not live with your own failure.
Couldn't.
Where did that bring you? Back to me.
You're not here because you trust your own instincts. If you did, you wouldn't be here.
You're here because you trust mine.
So when I tell you that Boots ain't what you think he is, the same way that Errol isn't what you thought he was.
You should listen.